So now that we have the connectors and the pipe made, let's just come here and go up one level, and you can see where it says assemblies. Let's type in shelf assembly. Okay, and up will come something there, and I've already been playing around with it, so perhaps something might already be there. So let's just see what pops up. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff there. That's okay. I'll just go delete all that. We don't want it. So let's start again. So place. Now let's go place a connector there, and I'm going to place a three-way elbow connector. I'm going to drop one there, and I'm going to put another one there. Okay, and then I'm going to place a piece of pipe, 100 mil, and place it in there. And I want to join these up. Now, straight away you can see there's a problem. This one's round the wrong way. So you've got a command there called free rotate. So come and click on that. Free rotate, and then I can spin that around and get that in the position it probably needs to go in, like that. Doesn't have to be accurate, doesn't have to be exact, you just get it roughly aligned, okay? And that really helps with what we're going to do next. So now I'm going to go constrain, and what I can do is if I hover over here, you can see an axis line running through there. And if you come over to this hole here and move it around correctly, probably put it near the edge of the circle, move it up, you can see that axis line there. You go click, and that gets those axis lines constrained. Okay, still moves in and out, but it's constrained. So let's go and get that seated in there. So this bottom section here, that's called your seat. So you remember when we made that? And then I want to seat this part here. I don't have to, I can see I just get that circle. If I just click on that circle there, nothing else, just that green circle, and apply, then that's seated in. I wonder if I can do the same over here. So spin it around, and let's try it again. So let's get that axis line there, constrain to that axis line there, apply, grab it, it should slide out, which it does, constrain, go find the seat, and constrain it to that, and apply. Now, if we go have a look at it, we might notice, see how these two connectors are pointing in the same direction. So there's a couple of ways we can do that, but I want you to learn this way here. You could sit there and say, oh, I want that surface there to be flush with that surface there. Okay, you could try that, but this is a way that I want you to do it from now on because it'll work all over the place. So you go constrain, and then come and click on this second one here. It's called angle, and then click on this one called directed angle. So it's this one here and this one here, and it should be set at 0. And watch this. I'll say I want that surface there and that surface there to be pointing in exactly the same direction. And then now when you look at it, it's lined up perfectly straight. Okay, so there it is there. Now, if I wanted to put extra pieces and bits and pieces in, I could go ahead and do that if I wanted to. Okay, and there's nothing to stop me doing that. But I just want to show you something. Just say I was building a really complicated shelf. I could go save this, go file, save as, and rather call it self-assembly, I could call it sub-assembly. I could call it sub-assembly 1, or I could call it sub-assembly end, or whatever. Give it a name and go save. All right. So that's my sub-assembly end. So the reason you do that is because when I go open up my shelf assembly, and I'll get rid of all of that. If I want to, I could sit there and like put 2 pipes in like that, and then I could go place 4 3-way. I could put 4 of those in like that, and I could try and assemble it, or I could just do this, place, and go find my sub-assembly, and look, just put 2 of those in like that. How cool is that? Already assembled. So why do I need to do all this? I don't. I could delete that, I could delete that, I could delete that, I could delete that. I could put that over there. I could grab this pipe. I could constrain this pipe to there. I could constrain. I could then go constrain this part, that edge there, into this hole here. All right. I could then move that out of the way. See this thing here? I could bring this down, do a free rotate. Zip diddy do. Go and go, yep, yep. Apply. I could make that face there or that edge, doesn't matter. Into there. Apply. I could do that little thing I told you about, angle, set it 0, click on this one here and say I want that surface there and that surface there pointing in the same direction, and look at that. That's all perfectly aligned. And this one here, look, I could just go boom, boom, it goes in there, apply. I can sit there and click on that and make that into there, apply. Look, that's solid as. I could go sit there and go File, Save As, Subassembly, Base. Open up my shelf assembly, get rid of all of that. Go away. Okay. And go Place, Subassembly Base. And look, I could drop that in there. I could drop that in there as well. I could do a free rotate. I'll do a free rotate of that one down the bottom, spin it around, and I could put my pipe in. So what you do is you do a whole bunch of sub-assemblies, which makes, look, how easy is that? That's already one. That's one there. I just got to put 4 pipes in. So lots of different shortcuts, okay? So best of luck. So this is Inventor that we do in Year 9. If you really like it and you're really enjoying yourself, so by the time you get into CAD in Year 10, which is a subject that we offer, your Inventor, if you can do this in Year 9, there is nothing in Year 10, 11 or 12 that you are going to find challenging. Even the most complicated task in Year 12, which is probably this drawing here. Okay, you'd look at that and you'd go, gee whiz, that looks complicated, but you know what? You would be able to do that. So best of luck with that and see how you go. Okay. And I'll talk to you later. Okay.